Martin Luther King Jr. is undoubtedly one of the greatest leaders in U.S. history. He spearheaded the civil rights movement and became the driving force behind landmark events like the Montgomery bus boycott and the March on Washington. In honor of MLK Day, we're devoting this installment of Monday Manners to learning a little bit about leadership. Diane Gottsman, our etiquette expert, is here with some advice for parents to help develop some of these leadership qualities.
That's right, because it all starts at home. And as adults across the board, you know, we have that responsibility to be role models and leaders. So here's a few tips that we're going to talk about.
All right. What are they?
So the first one is it starts at home, but it doesn't stay at home. So, you know, it's so important. You know, our kids are watching every move we make.
Right.
So when we say one thing, but we do another, you know, that's sending a different message. And I think it's really important to take your kids out. You know, it's been such a great segment before this segment. You know, we were talking about all kinds of volunteer opportunities and volunteer with them. And you can find small things to do, whether you take them to the park yourself and, you know, pick up a bottle off the ground or take a grocery cart back. You know, so start small, but think big, you know, because every action is sending a message.
Right. And Diane, that's absolutely a great idea, you know, starting small and then also maybe even expanding a little bit. Here in Austin, there's a wealth of resources. I mean, here in Central Texas, of people who we can look up to as leaders.
Yes. And, you know, I think that is so important to, you know, that's another tip that I talk about, you know, is show your children, you know, point out leaders in the community. And it's not just who you see on television or you read about in the news. It could be a local hero. It could be somebody who's making an impact like a bus driver, a school worker. So it's important to teach your kids what leadership means on all different kinds of levels.
And we know that obviously Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., he was a leader and he had this way of speaking. I mean, his I Have a Dream speech, is that also important to the leadership roles? Martin Luther King was impactful. And if you look online, you will see, and you know, we can all see all of his incredible quotes. And just doing that, you know, with MLK and other leaders, look at what they have written, what they stand for, what they believe, and that's a way to start talking to your children and your teens. You know, we're talking about younger children, but moving into the teens and even adults. You know, when you look at what they did and what they sacrificed and the legacy that they have left moving forward, it's a great thing. And these are conversation points to teach our kids, because our children need to learn. They're learning from us, and you know, they also learn compromise and collaboration and living with adversity. And you know, this is all what MLK did. Absolutely, and it's important to be a communicator. Is that correct? It's so important, and we need to teach again. We're showing our children how to communicate. So that means that we need to show them how to support others. When you see something that's great, talk to them about it and encourage them to write a note, send an email, depending on their age, send a text, I don't care. You know, just reach out to somebody else and support others. And that is a skill. It's not just about yourself, it's about reaching out and showing grace to other people. And I love that, you know, that you mentioned earlier, heroes come in all varieties. You know, it could be a bus driver or your favorite janitor who always has a smile at work or at home or school. And it just really shows that, you know, leaders can be anywhere. All you have to do is look. And you know, we often talk about people who are doing, you know, negative things, or there are some people in the limelight that are not necessarily doing the right thing. You can talk about that. Teach your children that it's not always everything that glitters is not gold, you know, that people can be noticed for good reasons and for bad reasons, and show them the difference. And they need to learn, we all need to learn how to lose. You know, so we're not all going to win every single game, but I think that it teaches character to teach children how to lose gracefully. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much. As always, Diane, you've always have great tips.